What's going on, people? It's your boy Uche again. This video might get me in trouble, but you already know what time it is. I really don't give a shit. When the truth comes, you gotta keep it real. Disclaimer: I'm a gay man, okay, and this is my perspective. I know some of y'all will probably click off because it's a gay black man, but you might want to listen. I have had the privilege to listen to a lot of men, usually black men, complain about the modern day woman, usually modern day black woman. And, it's usually not in the most positive limelight. It's usually something about the modern day black woman is undateable. She wants this, she wants that, and all kinds of shit. And it's made the modern day black woman undesirable. Actually, not just the black woman, just women in general, has made her undesirable, unwantable, unmarriable, and all kinds of nonsense. So now a lot of men are very frustrated. It's usually the same man chat. All kinds of podcasts and YouTube videos have been done on this topic. All kinds of viral videos. Like just go online and you see so many coach red pill men, both black men, white men, and everything in between. But especially with black men complaining about the modern day black woman because the modern day black woman, for the most part, is prostituting. Let's just keep it real because that's exactly what it is. She's selling pussy. Okay, it's about sex, and then in exchange for the wigs and makeup, the protector, and all that getting flued out and all kinds of shit, right? And I know this is very difficult for a lot of people to imagine because most people lack emotional intelligence. But put yourself in that woman's perspective, and all of a sudden it makes sense. Emotional intelligence is something that a lot of people, especially a lot of men, lack. Emotional intelligence, in part, is the ability to remove yourself from your own being and put yourself in somebody else's shoes and look at life from their own perspective. Women have way too many pressures on them. Men too, okay? It's not easy being human, but imagine being a woman, but especially being a black woman. As a woman, I don't know, there's this weird thing in this society, this patriarchal society about women. After the age of 30 years old, a woman is seen as not good enough. I find it so strange. Meanwhile, men can be men till God knows how long. A man can be single till 50 years old and he can happily get married and everybody and their mama get in line to be with this man that usually ain't even shit. Let's just keep it real. But as a woman, there's so much pressure on a woman, so much pressure on a woman. You see, the issue with this patriarchal society is that men are raised with this mentality of they own the world and women owe the world. A woman's job is to serve the man. And the woman's job is to service and serve the man. And hopefully she gets married, she gets proposed by the age of 30. And after that, if she does not get proposed, she's owed goods and gets discarded. This is because of patriarchy. And as a result, a lot of women have been burned, historically have been burned by this. A lot of these men will make you girlfriends and boyfriends. They will date you, use you sexually and all kinds of shit, but they will marry you. And then all of a sudden, like in your 30s, when you are used up and washed up, they just leave you for the next hot thing. And this behavior is even very common with black men who taste money, who gets on top of money. If this was a black man who was dating a dark skinned black woman prior to making money, once he makes money, a lot of times he will just leave the black woman and upgrade to someone more biracial, racially ambiguous, a white woman. You upgrade and leave the woman that you claim to love that probably has your children. You've been dating this woman for such a long time, you just drop her. And sometimes these black men could actually become very disrespectful to this woman that has been holding you down for so long, even if that woman is your child's mother, just because you got money and upgraded to someone lighter skinned. Even though he probably is out of shape, he's probably in his 30s or 40s or the same age as you. But for some reason, because of patriarchy, he gets to continue living. Meanwhile, you have wasted your good years on this man. And especially if you have a child with this man, you basically trapped with that man for life. And women are starting to get wiser. The modern day woman is starting to get wiser. I think women, this has a lot to do with the feminine energy. The feminine energy is the energy or the spirit of intellect. And a lot of women, not just women, men as well, but a lot of women tend to have that spirit of intellect, spirit of discernment, spirit of just deep intellect. I think a lot of women are starting to clock out to realize and hopefully make peace with the fact that there's nothing in these relationships. These relationships are very shallow, very shallow. You don't like her. You really don't like her. You just want the pussy. That's it. You just want to, you know, get in, hit it, and move on. A lot of these couple goals that we see on the social media with these celebrities are ridiculous as hell. And it's so sad that some of these grown ass people actually still try to emulate this shit. And a lot of people are starting to wake up to that. What keeps a relationship is not the shit that you buy a woman or the thick, cute, text message that you send to her in the morning, but that you're sending 10 other women the exact same thing. A lot of women are waking up to that, realizing that, hey, I'm just getting used for my body by a man who probably does not understand what it feels like to be a woman, especially a black, especially even more so a dark-skinned black woman. Meanwhile, he gets to live his best life, even if he breaks up with me and live his best life. And I think a lot of these modern day women are revamping their minds and strategy by saying, you know what? If you're going to use me for my body and my prime, I'm going to use you too. And honestly, I think that is fucking fair. That is fucking fair. Because I'm just being honest, dude. I would even date some of y'all straight men, dead ass. I know some gay men drool over straight men. Yeah, it couldn't be my black ass. And I believe I've said this so many times. I believe a lot of women settle for men because a lot of these straight men and shit. I wouldn't even touch some of these men even if you paid me, Chad. But I think a lot of women are just making peace with intelligent women though. There's still some women who would just open up to just any Tom, Dick, and Harry, Chad. There's the women like that, but I'm talking about high caliber, high quality women who know herself or is in the process of healing and finding herself. She would not take you serious, and why the fuck would she? A lot of these men and shit. It's just the way it is. And this has to do with patriarchy. Patriarchy has brainwashed a lot of men to think that the right way to be a man is to get rid of your feminine energy, to be a real man, to butch up, to this and that and this and that. As a result, a lot of men's mentality and just interest is very fleeting. A man will say anything to get in bed with you today, but then lose interest very quick when the next hot thing comes along. This is the mentality that is being promoted in the media. You see a lot of men, they even brag about this shit. Like I remember even as a gay man, most people don't know I'm gay. I've endured all kinds of ridiculous conversations with straight men who brag about how many, being prostitutes actually, being hoes. Let's just keep it real. How many women that they use, things like that. This is glorified in society. And as a result, men get away with this shit and women constantly feel left out. And I think a lot of very intelligent women are either just staying celibate and staying the hell single away from all these problems, or just using y'all. And the interesting thing is, a lot of these women are very intelligent. A lot of women, I'm not talking about the low caliber women. A lot of intelligent women, they're intelligent enough to know that men's simplicity is also their downfall. A man will fall for anything. So they know that you want, the only thing for the most part you want is down there. So they're using down there to trap you. This is why some of them will be quick to have kids with you to trap you financially. Hey, I know that you're not going to marry me anyway, so I might as well trap you for 18 years child support, and it's working. Some of them are trapping you, using you to get flued out, and the wigs, and you see it on Kendra G show. He gotta have this, he gotta have that, and this, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them because historically, this is the mentality that a lot of men, because of patriarchy, has promoted. That you don't care about these women. You don't value these women. You just treat them as though that they're just something that you can use and dump and move on to the next hot thing. And this is the issue with patriarchy. I know a lot of straight people don't want to talk about patriarchy and how patriarchy is dividing and, unaliving people, especially straight people. But trust me, this shit goes deep. Patriarchy is one of the strongest perversities of this modern world, Chad. And I say modern world because patriarchy was not intentionally meant to be like that. There's a deeper spiritual reason as to why patriarchy existed, even at the time of Jesus. But that's a whole nother conversation, Chad. I don't want to bore you out with this. But the modern day definition of patriarchy is perverse. It is very narcissistic and dipped in ego. And like I've mentioned so many times, the ego's goal is one thing and one thing only, to divide and conquer. And it's doing that. It's dividing the masculine and the feminine within the individuals themselves. The men, as a human being, man or woman, you have feminine and masculine within you. Patriarchy is dividing, separating the feminine from the masculine in the men, and also doing the exact same thing with the women. And this is manifesting in relationships today, where you see men and women are not dating. Everyone is single, everyone is jerking and using the roles, and no one is coming together in the feminine and the masculine to form completion. This is malarkey. makes you wonder what is truly the spirit behind all of this shit. This shit goes deep, but I'm gonna stop right here, Chad, before they come for me, especially Uncle Sam, okay? If you know, you know. But again, I charge all the men, and I know it's very difficult, I charge all the men to put yourself in these so called modern day women's situation. Look at it from their perspective. This is called emotional intelligence. And by the way, EQ or emotional intelligence is the antidote to all the fuck shit that we're dealing with today. Uche, peace and love.